and that figure is expected to rise even further. A national state of emergency has been declared, and the government has accepted offers of specialist help from Australia as well as the United States. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the epicenter was 10 kilometers southeast of the South Island city, just 5 kilometers underground. The port town of Littleton was badly damaged, and tremors were felt more than 300 kilometers away. Four Americans as well as 2 Somali pirates have been killed during an attempt to free hostages in the Indian Ocean. The yacht was seized 3 days ago off the coast of Oman. The U.S. military says its forces approached the vessel after hearing gunfire. Now, the ship's owners reiterated that a couple had been sailing around the world for more than 7 years. We can go now back to news out of Yemen, and we can talk to Tom Finns, who's the editor for the Yemen Times in Sana'a. Can you tell us what's happening in the capital?
I just got back from Sana'a University, where around 2,000 students have been holding a sit-in, calling for President Saleh to step down. Now, a couple of hours ago, a group of around 50 pro-Saleh protesters broke through a line of riot police and opened fire on protesters. I've been told by doctors there that one Yemeni student was shot in the chest and has died on the scene, and that another one was shot in the head and is now in hospital in critical condition. The students have been protesting there since Sunday, and they're still there now protesting.
And the protesters, what's at the heart of the problem? What are they asking for at this point?
Most of the protesters are young students, some of them graduates from Sana'a University. Their main complaints are a lack of employment. In Yemen, there's 40% of people are unemployed. They're also angry at the government for charges of corruption. So they're calling for President Saleh to step down. That's their aim, and they say that they will not leave the university until he does.
So, which brings me to my next question. What do they expect, or what do they plan on doing over the next few days?
Well, until Sunday, there'd been 11 days of consecutive protests. They'd been marching around the streets of Sana'a, but had been getting into battles with the pro-Saleh supporters who'd been attacking them. So they changed their tactic on Sunday and decided they were going to stage a sit-in. So they've now developed a big area around the university. There's tents there, there's food, medication, blankets. There's around 2,000 or 3,000 of them there, and they say that they will stay until Saleh leaves. So the police have been trying to protect them from these pro-Saleh supporters, but they've obviously been struggling because, as we saw this evening, pro-Saleh supporters managed to break through and attack them. So I think we can expect to see the students there from the next week or two, maybe longer, unless Saleh decides that he wants them to be moved and the army moves them out.
And those pro-Saleh supporters that you speak of, can you give us an estimate, if you can, of how many there are on the streets?
Well, they arrive in groups of around 50 to 100 people. They're normally carrying batons and rocks, although they've now started carrying guns and opening fire at protesters. Now, some people say that these people have been paid to come and do this. Other people say that they're just supporting the government and that they want their president to stay in power. But it seems as if that there is support for Saleh here, as well as opposition. So these people who are supporting Saleh seem to keep coming back. The question is whether or not that this violence will continue, because at the moment it's only kind of making the people more determined to stay at the university. The other thing is that when you look at the two groups, the pro and anti-government supporters, there's a big age disparity. So the guys supporting the president are all normally over the age of 30 or 40, whereas the people you see against the government tend to be young, educated. Some of them speak English, students and graduates, professionals and activists.
All right, Tom Finns, thank you very much for talking to us there out of Sana'a. We can now go back to news out of Algeria, and Ilyas Falali, who's a blogger and a journalist, joins us on the phone from Algiers. And Ilyas, what we've heard is that Algeria's cabinet has decided to lift the country's state of emergency. How has that gone down in Algeria?
Okay, it's Ilyas, a blogger and an activist. Okay, just to correct that. Okay, the government was under a lot of pressure to get to this. It was not that the government wanted it, but it was under pressure, especially with the events in the neighboring countries. Critics are saying, we hope this is going to be this is a good step, but they're just hoping that it will be a real. These measures will have a real implication upon the Algerian political life and the real opening. People are desperate for an opening up. Society has to move on. We're stuck. You cannot form political parties. Demos are banned. Checkpoints are literally everywhere. It's just got to end. I mean, terrorism has subsided. These measures were, in the first place, used to fight terror. But now, I mean, for the last 3, 4, 5 years, I mean, terrorism has subsided. We see no point of having these measures. So it should have been done a long time ago. But we look at it as a positive step. But we hope that it's real, and we hope that it's going to have an impact in our society, which people want to move on here. They want to be implicated in political life. They want to taste freedom and real democracy.
There have been weekly protests held in Algeria's capital, Algiers. Are those still ongoing?
Well, to be honest with you, the committee met today, and apparently there's a split. I was there. There's a split, actually. There's one party saying we have to go ahead. The other party saying no, we have to hang on, and we have to organize society. We have to. They felt that the impact, the people were not really they felt like there was work to be done within society. They have to they have to gather momentum. So the march will go ahead, but
So are you saying that people are divided?
Sorry. To be honest with you, the government has tried all it can to appease the situation. Young men have been employed. A lot of people have been housed. I think the government is trying to do all it can, trying to keep people away from protesting. Young men are being given loans for up to $20,000, $30,000 to open up a business. Orders have been given to the councillors and to all the governors, and all the people have power to listen to the youth. They're trying to do something. So I think the government here have learned a lesson from the neighbouring country, and they don't want Algeria to go down that route. So
are people in Algeria inspired by what's happened in Egypt and Tunisia?